My fellow Anglicans and friends, I greet you on this feast day of St. Luke the Physician in the name of our almighty, all-knowing, and all-loving God. And I pray that you and your families are all keeping well and protected as we continue to meet these very challenging times within our nation and our world. I am moved on such a day of observance to lend my voice to the cause of encouraging all of us, to earnestly fulfill God's call to exercise sound stewardship of our lives during this COVID-19 pandemic. As Christians, we ought to remember that our call to be good stewards is not limited to that of being faithful in the offering of our time, talents, and treasures to the church as we actively participate in our Lord's mission of delivering the good news of salvation for the spiritual well-being of all. Our call to stewardship also bids us to work with God in the preservation of our physical lives, our health, and our wellness, and that of enabling life to be experienced in its fullness. We are called, therefore, to exercise a stewardship that is holistic, as we effectively use all that God has provided, the wisdom, resources, and abilities that He has given for the safeguarding and the preservation of our lives, and that of others, both spiritually and physically. Our Lord Himself, as our great physician, attended to both of these dimensions of life, as He proclaimed and revealed through His gift of healing the good news of God's salvation and the establishment of God's kingdom, that we might have life and have it more abundantly. I am certain that we are all aware of the dire situation in which we find ourselves today as citizens of this beloved nation, where we are reaching record numbers of COVID-19 cases per day and a high rate of associated deaths due to the onset of the Delta variant. A variant, my friends, that is more contagious than its predecessors and is no respecter of age, as we have seen for many of our young people today are now being infected. Some global reports even reveal that our island is currently at the top of the chart for having the highest rate of newly confirmed COVID-19 cases per million per day in our world. These are staggering statistics and is causing an adverse effect on our healthcare system. Due to the presence of the Delta variant, we have reached that point where there is a wide community transmission of the virus. And we need to act now, more than ever, to halt this spread and to be resolute in the preservation of our lives and our mental and social well-being. We began this year with just 7 deaths due to COVID-19. However, those numbers have risen steadily, and so far we have already lost just over 100 precious lives over these last few months. This, my dear friends, is indicative that we as citizens have been letting down our guard and not doing our utmost to secure our lives and that of others. We have not been exercising enough due care and attention, even at a time when our God has provided us with the wisdom to recognize the seriousness of the situation and the destructive nature of COVID-19. God has given us insight as to how this virus spreads and how we can protect ourselves and others by following certain protocols, and also how we can build or boost our immune system to fight valiantly against severe infection through a well-balanced diet, daily exercise, the use of vitamin and mineral supplements, testing, early detection and treatment if infected, and not to be left out, the receiving of the COVID-19 vaccine. Today we have available to us a number of vaccines that have proven to score not 100%, but a high percentage of success in boosting and enabling our immune system to fight off this deadly virus should we become infected, and also to limit our ability to spread it on to others. I therefore exhort you to take one of these vaccines if you are medically able to do so. And if you're not, I urge you to double your efforts in building up your immunity. And whether you are vaccinated or not, to closely follow the required protocols to avoid being infected. God has given us these resources and measures to safeguard ourselves and to play our part in ensuring that our situation in no way becomes worse, but rather improves. He truly desires our freedom from this exile into which COVID-19 has placed us, and to use the God-given means He has made available to us for our deliverance, as we continue to pray daily to Him and to trust for the healing of our nation and of our world. Let us therefore take fresh guard and be guided by God in the exercise of sound stewardship. And let us also give Him thanks and praise today for all those who, like St. Luke, have been on the front line, called and equipped for the ministry of healing, as they continue to sacrificially give of themselves for the sake of others. Let us be faithful in loving God, in loving ourselves, and in loving and caring for our neighbors as ourselves. Every blessing to you, and stay well. I am your friend and Bishop, Michael, Barbados.